So today I made a sourdough cheddar sandwich loaf, and basically I'm just gonna give you all of the little signs that I missed. My dough, I thought at the beginning was overproofed, but then looking back at it, I realized that it just didn't have enough gluten structure in it, so it was sticking to the bowl. It did have big bubbles, and I was led astray to believe that it was okay, but then I realized how sticky it was, and that was frustrating and low-key gave me some anxiety because I don't normally deal with like super sticky dough. So instead of wetting my hands, I decided to use flour because I thought that it would tighten the dough up. So if you want to tighten the dough, just for anybody that is wondering, it's probably better to do some stretch and folds or do some shaping and then come back to it. Give it a little bit of a cold proof and come back to it. But I moved on. I didn't want to make a focaccia. In my home, we call it a focaccia, and that's just because if you're making focaccia by accident, it's because you let it overproof, and there's really nothing more that you can do with a soupy dough. So with this, I decided to move on and add my cheese and just try and roll it up as best as I could. When I started rolling it up and doing the trifold, so this is the first side and I'm going to do the other side, it was so sticky, and I was hoping that it would come out the way it needed to, but I wasn't confident. The confidence comes with doing a lot more loaves. So I'm at the point now, as I'm making this video, where I understand what's going on, but it took a lot of searching on the web and reading other people's experiences in order for me to understand what I was dealing with the dough. So anyways, I added my cheese and I decided to just go ahead and roll it up and, pray for the best. When I was rolling it up, I should have used water on my fingers, but I used flour, and it honestly just gave me hell. And it was so stretchy. So, there's some benefits to it. I think that I just didn't know what the benefits were. So, and that smile is me saying it's okay to everybody, even though in my head I'm like, no, it's not okay. And I just kept rolling, and it was an eternal roll. That thing was so stretchy, but I ended up getting it to a good point, and I sealed up the sides. And after that, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to score it because it was so sticky and not very firm, but I put it into the loaf pan, and I gave it a little jiggle and a booty tap, and I put the bonnet on it, and I let her sit overnight, quote unquote overnight. She sat for 8 hours. We really did this bread loaf in one day because we started early. So after I cold proofed it, I scored it. The score was not great, and that's not for nothing. Like, I scored it and it just didn't hold because of the texture of the dough, which was fine. And after I baked it, I was surprised at how it came out. It was still light. It wasn't dense. I was excited about it. And I was surprised at how much it rose. If it was overproofed, it would not rise like this. So I needed to cool it down in order to get the true crumb. If you cut it too early, it's going to get gummy and it's not going to be great. After I cooled it down, I looked into it, and I was very surprised at how it came out. I think that me not rolling it tight enough caused those little pockets and the around the cheese. And I wasn't mad at it, clearly. My face is saying I'm not mad at it. And I decided to go ahead and get me a little slice and see what the crumb was talking about. When I started slicing it, it was trying to fall out the middle. So I don't know how to explain that. It was just trying to unravel on itself. But after I slapped on some butter, it was giving croissant bread layers. It was very delicious, very, very savory, really good flavor, not sour, which again, that's another sign of being overproofed if it tastes sour. It wasn't sour. It had a great flavor. And I just learned a whole lot especially after recording it. I'm so grateful. So I hope y'all learned something. Enjoy.